Today I'm going to share with you how I'm starting to stack a lot of totes to grow 10 times the amount of food in a small space and go from this to this. Isn't that amazing? And anybody can do it. And it's cheap too. Hi everybody, it's Robbie from Southern California. And today I'm going to share with you how I'm starting to stack a lot of totes. But there's only one way we can do it, and we've got to do it right or we could end up with an issue. What you see in front of you has been just phenomenal for me. I absolutely love it. I've got 3 black, durable, mine are Sterilite totes. You can get other types of totes. A lot of the hardware stores sell them. So it doesn't have to be Sterilite. The ones on top here, the colored ones, are also Sterilite. Let's go over quickly about the totes and which ones you can and cannot stack. Now, these particular totes that I absolutely love, you can get them for like $5, no more than really $7. These you cannot stack. If you look, see how they flex? They're soft. They're meant to maybe if you had in the house, you could fill it up and put 2 together with the lids on and you might be able to stack them. But as far as strength, they don't have the strength to stack. What I've got on the bottom are type that are industrial, heavy duty. You normally will see something like that when you go to buy it on the label. And they a lot of times will show them stacked. What it is, if you look, is see they have a double wall and see how thick they are? They have got an extra strength wall in them. It's basically a heavier plastic, and they are a 5 or a 2, so we're okay with growing in them. That's not an issue. And as far as the color is fine. You can grow in black. Think of nurseries. All your nurseries keep their plants, be it on soil or blacktop, in black flower pots. They're fine in the color black. But getting back to stacking, those have a wall on them that you can stack these totes full if you were using them in a garage or in the house or storage. 3, 4, 5, and that makes that wall stronger. So what I've done here in my particular garden, and I love it, is I took 3 industrial strength totes. Now I got them on sale, really good deal for $10, and I've heard that even Lowe's, Home Depot, and a lot of the hardware stores have them for about $10. They've kind of gone up since I bought them, but I bought them at Walmart. Check around. Now the top ones I did pay about $5 each, and they are not stackable, but they're perfectly fine to stack 1 layer up. I'm not putting anything on top of these, though I could. And I'll show you in a minute what I'm going to do. But let's step back and look at this. This I am so excited about. I have got zucchini growing on the bottom. Had a rabbit problem. I like my rabbits, so all I did right there is put a piece of wire, and that solved that problem. I'm probably going to put some tulle, T-U-L-L-E, if I have to, but he hasn't bothered much. But that one, starting to nibble a little bit on that one, so I might put a piece of wire there. But as far as getting up, he can't get up. He hasn't bothered my tomatoes. He hasn't bothered my tomatillos growing in there. He hasn't bothered anything else. He hasn't even bothered my watermelon that's starting now. Now, what I did start off here with was cucumber. And some of the cucumbers started to die back, and though I did plant some new baby cucumber plants in here, I have seen that even the old ones, look at this, are starting to make a comeback. So I'm going to have cucumbers from the old plant, and they do fantastic. The other thing on this, and this is why I like it so much, is I can water the top. And my holes on these are here. See my holes? So when I water the top, I've got 2 holes here, one on the end that sticks out more. And you can see they're kind of overlapped on the tote, about 2 inches on both sides. And then there's the holes there. So both of them are done that way. See the holes? Now you can see it better on the red one right there. And the same thing here. So now I'm not losing precious water on the bottom. Now if you had a setup where you were planting on the bottom here, you could make the holes anywhere you want, but I want to make sure my water, because of the way I make my totes with all that valuable leaves and stuff from the garden, that's constantly creating compost tea, is now feeding my bottom totes. I mean, look at the tomatoes. I mean, there's like, I was going to say dozens, but probably more than that, and we've been picking. There's tons and tons of tomatoes on there. They're going all through here. That's 1 tomato plant. And this is a tomatillo plant that's starting, that's getting massive. I've got onions in there. I had peas. We ate them. We had all kinds of stuff growing in this tier of simply 5 totes. Now, if I wanted to go one stack higher, I could. I could have used black totes there, the stackable ones, and then I could have done one across the top. So that is an option you could do too, but I was quite happy with this. So let's walk over here. Oh, and real quick on the bottom, if you can see here, I made big holes all across the bottom. Let's see if we can get in there for a minute. See that? So now when I water this one, and it waters this one, or if I water this one, it goes out here. So I do still have the option of putting something down there, and I don't even have to think about water. This unit saves me water and saves me time. That is like picture perfect. And I've done really nothing. Should groom it a little bit. Now here I've got regular totes. None of these are really truly stackable. It's hard to say what would happen. So these are not being stacked. But here is another 3 set I have. So I'm in the process of putting that together. And see how I've left about 8 inches here? You could do it any way you want. Same thing, there's holes down there on both sides. I put the holes on the black ones on both sides. You could even do one side, there's some in the front here, only because they came from somewhere else and they already had the holes. I have some in the front yard. I'm thinking of dragging the front yard ones there later, maybe next season, and getting them all stacked up across the wall here. I have got them, so I might just use them. But I did bring a few of them here because I had already one from Walmart. So now I'm getting ready to plant. So I've got this all filled just like I do. All my leaves and branches and kitchen scraps, toilet paper rolls, shredded paper, anything you've got, and it's getting ready to plant in. You know how I do it. It's ready to plant in. But I'm about ready. I was about ready to plant. It looks like my kitchen scraps are growing. I did put some seeds in here from some squash that I had, not purposely. It was in my kitchen scraps. So we'll see. Maybe I won't even plant anything on the top. Maybe I'll let it do its own thing. But that's how easy it is to stack them. They're not notched. They're not anything. They're not tied together. They're just simply working with gravity, and it works fantastic. So I wanted to share with you on that if you do want to stack some totes, be it up against the wall or even in the middle of a yard, make sure that the ones that you're putting the weight on the bottom, are stackable, durable totes. And it will say on the label, and you'll be able to tell because it's got a much thicker look to it, and you can see the difference. You can't even shake it. It's just a little bit, but it's got like reinforced corners, and that's what it is, where these are just flexible, and those can go on the top. Now what I am going to do here, and again, you know my mood, sometimes I might change my mind, is I have this board. So I'm probably going to put something across the top, just for fun for now, and I'm going to sit a bucket on top. So I can sit a bucket on those. Those can take that weight. That's not a problem. A bucket will be fine, so I can have it stacked like a pyramid, and then I can have something growing on the top. That will probably have a hole when I'm ready if I'm going to use this here, so the water will go down here. And I like directing my water. I mean, we're in a water shortage right now, with the drought. So here we want to direct our water and use our water. All my holes are up because we haven't had any rain, so we conserve water that way. But if you're in a place where you're getting a lot of rain, you may want to put the holes closer to the bottom. Keep in mind, if you're in an area that's getting a lot of rain, like tons of rain, constantly, you may not want to have just your holes on the very bottom, because then it could block up. If you ended up with a swampy area, it could just block it up and your totes will fill with water. But if your holes are on the side like that, it can never fill with water unless you're sitting in a lake. Then it will always, gravity will pull your water out, and you should get good drainage, because I know some of you have had problems with too much water and then your plants die that way. But by having your water drain and making sure it drains well, you should do fantastic no matter what the weather is. Found a couple down there that are also stackable, so I might be moving those around. And let's look real quick at my buckets that are also in a vertical garden style, and you can see how they worked out. Now these were put together in the same concept, where the buckets are stacked. The yellow ones got the holes. I've got the video up on that go into the 2 red ones. So the holes are on the side, and then the red one has a hole on that side and on that side. So when the water goes from the yellow, it goes into the red, and then the red can feed the 2 on the bottom. So the yellow one gets double duty water from both reds. This has worked out fantastic. Now this is done a little differently than the totes because I wanted them to lock so they're locked in with the posts from the tomato stakes. Plus, they are notched, which I did not have to worry about stacking and them falling because it's a smaller lip and I wanted to make sure they're not going anywhere. And it's worked fantastic, so I'm in the process of getting that one done. So I hope today I've given you an idea on how to make a vertical garden using totes and buckets too. But the totes have been fantastic. And you will get 10 times the duty of plants because you'll have so much going on. You'll get your compost tea out of them if you're, growing in the way I am with stacking and filling the totes with Mother Nature's soil, which is leaves from their garden and bits and pieces of wood from trees and branches, and all that breaks down. The earthworms find their way in. Everything grows beautiful. I have not used any plant food on there, though I'm making my own right now. But look at the tomatoes. The tomatoes are going way, way up, and the cucumbers are still doing good. And now we're going to have tons of tomatillos, not counting those 3 little tomato plants are absolutely full. We've got one there that's just coming up. We've got the beautiful red cherry tomatoes coming up and the beautiful midnight snacks. And walking onions and all kinds of stuff. So I hope I've given you an idea on how to use totes, storage containers, to grow a vertical garden. And real quick, the frame. Gary made the frame, but it's really not that much attached to the frame. I took a piece of rebar as well and put that there, and you could use tomato stakes and it would be just fine because I'm just going to use tomato stakes. So with that, have a wonderful, wonderful day. And don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye.